So today, the most important thing that you have to know is you can't practice an Ironman. I can't say that more emphatically than you can't practice an Ironman. With that said, question of the day today is, what is one strategy that you can implement to help you get your nutrition on track over the whole 140.6 or 70.3 miles of an Ironman or a half Ironman distance race? If you want to find out, stay right here because I'm going to bring you some great information. Welcome back. What I want to talk to you about is you can't practice an Ironman. What do I mean by you can't practice an Ironman? What I mean by that is it's too hard on your body to actually go and practice a 140.6 mile race. So we have to train for that, and we have to think about that as we train. But what we look at, and most people look at, is they train for swim, bike, and run. Now, there's more to training for an Ironman than swim, bike, and run. You have to train your nutrition too. And what do I mean by that? Well, I hate the question that comes up before every Ironman or half Ironman race asking, what do you use in your race? Or what do you suggest that I use in my race because I don't know? Well, if it's only a couple weeks out from the race, the only thing you can do is to race how you train. You don't want to change now. But if you're just starting your Ironman journey, this nutrition hack is for you. You need to start training your nutrition and building your nutrition journal from day one. Treat every single solitary swim, bike, or run just like it's the race. Grab your journal and right at the top on page 1, food as fuel. I talk to my athletes all the time about NASCAR. You don't see a high performance race car pull into your local gas station, drop 83 octane gas into the gas tank, and expect to go fast. You have to change your mindset from just food to fuel. So fuel training point number 1 is eat what you're going to eat before the race, before every long ride, every long run, or every long swim session. Make it second nature. The night before one of those long training events, you want to eat the same meal that you're going to eat the day before the race. Dial that in from day 1. This way, it becomes totally, completely second nature. So it comes time to train our nutrition for swimming. We have to remember that you're going to swim between 1 hour to maybe even a little over 2 hours in an Ironman swim. What we're going to do to train our nutrition, and we're going to journal every single bit of this on our swim sessions so that we know exactly how we feel taking in our nutrition. Now, if you're a morning workout person, you got a serious advantage. So what we want to do is we want to take and eat the exact same breakfast, start dialing that breakfast in from day 1 before your swim session in the morning. And then just before you get in the pool or go into that open water swim, take a gel like you would before the beginning of the race. And that way you give yourself a fuel source to get through that leg of the race. Practice it every single solitary swim session. Make the change over to the bike, get to our bike, and we're going to take a gel. We can take that gel while we're moving the bike through transition out to bike mount, or you can take that immediately upon getting on your bike, getting settled in, take your first gel. Why? You just went through an hour to 2 hours of fasting. You got to start building those calories back up. Speaking of calories, it's going to take 300 calories, up to 600-700 calories in some cases, per hour burn. I promise to give you not a lot of science in this because you can go to a lot of different places on YouTube and get all the science and nutrition that you want to get. I want to keep it simple for you. Grab your journal and write this down. It's going to take between 300 and 600 calories per hour for you to get through the bike. You can calculate this through Garmin and get an approximation. To put it into perspective, today I rode my bike 50 miles. It took 2 hours and 33 minutes. I burned 1,260 calories. So I was burning fuel at a rate of 530 calories per hour. You have to replace about half of that or you're going to come out with the dreaded bonk, and it's going to be a long, long walk. So we're going to take our gel, and we're going to take a gel approximately every 30 to 45 minutes. Calculate this, how many calories are in the particular gel you picked. Then I use something like this Salt Stick Chew. I love these things. They taste like salty sweet tarts. I take these to bolster my electrolyte levels. About 15 minutes into the ride, I'll take my first one, and depending on how hot it is, the hotter it is, the more you're going to need. But I take these about 15 minutes in, and then every 30 to 45 minutes. So it kind of staggers in with the gels. I want to drink 1 bottle of electrolyte mix, depending on which one you pick, which fueling source is good for you, every hour. Then you want to take in some solid food. Now, a lot of people will say, hey, I don't need solid food. I don't like solid food on the bike. Guess what? It's a long day. You're technically going to miss 3 full meals. So you're going to actually want some sort of solid food. So train your nutrition. Recurring theme, train your nutrition. Now, I take in something solid at mile 30, mile 60, and mile 90. You're going to have to train your nutrition for what's best for you. Practice makes perfect. Now comes the start of the promised nutrition hack. That last bottle, you're going to switch to water. Why? It's going to help keep the GI stress off of you as you start the run. When we start talking about food as fuel and not food as just something we take in, we have to look at the fuel sources that are available to us. As you can see, there are several different types. These are natural fuel source. Honey Stinger uses organic honey. Huma uses all natural ingredients there. NUUN and Scratch use pure cane sugar as their fuel source. Tailwind and NUUN uses glucose as a fuel source. Gatorade Endurance that you'll find on the Ironman courses and GOO products uses maltodextrin as a fuel source. UCAN uses what they call pure superstarch, which gives you a long, slow release of your carbohydrates, giving you energy over a long length of time. How I use these, I'm a Scratch guy. I use Honey Stinger, I use GOO, and I use UCAN in my races. Hey, before we jump into the final part of this hack, we want to thank our sponsor, JSCoachingSystems.com, for their 10 for $10 Sprint Triathlon training plan. That's it, $1 a week, 10 weeks for $10. Down below in the description, you'll find the email address that you can send an email to me, and I will set you up with that plan. Now, on to the hack. The hack is you're not going to use any sports drink on the run. Doesn't make sense, but it does. You're going to split your electrolytes, your water, and your fuel source. I use the Honey Stinger gels on the run. It just works better for me. Like I say, I'm a natural sugar guy. That's my best fuel source. This method of splitting electrolytes, water, and fuel allows you to make on-the-fly adjustments. A hotter day, you'll need more electrolytes. You'll be able to add more salt. On a colder day, you can add more carbohydrates. You can add more water as needed, depending on where you are in the race. Practice this in your training. Now, long runs, long bricks, no intake of water, fuel, anything until mile 1. Why? Because that's about where the aid stations are. You're not going to carry any water, no camelbacks, people. You don't want to carry all that extra weight. And if you must in training, except in training, you might carry a camelback if you have no way to fill up, or like I use this Nathan's belt. There's a link down in the description if you're looking for a super light, super nice, and it doesn't bounce around on you. So from there, you're going to practice making adjustments depending on the weather conditions. Salt tabs, gels, journal it, solid food from the aid stations as you need it along the way, if you can stomach it. So there you have it, an outline of my nutrition hack. If you're interested in getting more information on this, we will be doing Tri-Tips Live, where we'll have a discussion on this topic. You'll be able to ask your questions, where I will be able to answer you in real time. What you're gonna have to do is smash me in the face right here to subscribe. Make sure the notifications are on. Give me a thumbs up. All product that you have seen in this video, I will have links below in the description. Remember though, I am an Amazon associate. I do get a little bit of commission. It helps me to produce better videos for you. As promised, right here is my video on low heart rate, zone 2 running, where you can get a little bit more information on how to train your nutrition. Well, this is Coach John. I'm out.